This is MacBay, and welcome to another episode of MacBay Dios. In this episode, I'm going to share with you guys another Dio accessory finds, as well as a repaint tutorial for this 1/6 scale deco art motorcycle that you can find at Home Goods. So here's the bike without Captain America sitting on it, and let's just take a quick look at some of the details of this bike before I start doing my black priming paint on this. So as you can see, it has a lot of pretty good details in here. Even has some of those like toolbox at the back. You can see the motor, pretty detailed. You know, you got the front right here. You have the steering. It's the wheels turned, so it has a working wheels on them. This one is a permanent stand, so it'll be there. And just looking through here, see, it has that license plate in there. And so here's the other side, what it looks like. Again, I mean, it's a pretty detailed piece for this item. Good alternative, you know, cheaper alternative to have an accessory for your 1/6 scale Hot Toys First Avenger Captain America. Alright, so I was able to get this bike all primed up by using a flat black spray paint. You know, took me a couple of passes, just making sure that I got as much coverage as I can. So behind is a photo of the movie version of Captain America's motorcycle, World War II. Like I said, the model's not really the same as this one, but I'm gonna be using the color scheme of that motorcycle as my basis to color this motorcycle that I have right here. And as you can see, there's also some additional features in here, like that, you know, like machine gun right there, and also like the backpack or pouch bag, cargo, you know, that one right there, that I might add later on. And you could also see right there, there's like a gun or rifle. There's actually a holster behind it on the other side that he stores the rifle. So you know, I'm probably gonna try that later on, but what I'm gonna do is just try to paint this as much to look kind of like similar to that scheme. Alright, so I started painting, and as you can see, I already have some parts painted with the green color, and I'm actually using this Tamiya color acrylic paint, and this one is the olive green. So I'm basically just using this directly from the bottle, so I'm not doing any watering down on this one. So this one is just straight on application, and so far it's coming out good. So let me continue doing a little bit more so you guys can kind of see how I'm doing this. So I'm just using this kind of like medium-sized brush, and I just, you know, directly dip my thing in there, my brush, and that's all I do. I mean, I was thinking of maybe doing airbrushing on this one, but some of the parts are too close together that I'm gonna have a hard time really getting the right place to do airbrushing. So for me, manual brush will do. Just make sure that, I guess, when you do your brush stroke, that it doesn't leave too much streak. So yeah, so that one kind of looks good right there. And yeah, actually painting is like one of my most favorite part in doing diorama work or any custom work. For me it's kind of like relaxing. So yeah, so that's all you're gonna do here. Just keep doing it. And like I showed you earlier, I have a picture that I'm kind of using as my reference to apply, where to apply my paints. So all right, so I don't know if you can see that. It's kind of, my light, my overhead light right now is kind of not working. So anyway, I'll be continuing painting this, and once I get to a good stopping point, I'll come back and I'll show you guys again. So I got to a good stopping point right now. I actually painted past the green and actually have this thing pretty much done. I kind of forgot to take a video of me doing the the engine part, which is basically I used silver, some white color, and then weathered it by using some watered down brown brown color, and some watered down black as well. And then for the seat, actually you can still see it's not fully dry. That's actually the black wash that I added after I used a brown color, and then used another layer of espresso brown, and then used a black wash on that. As for the green, the olive green, I actually did a little bit of weathering and shading by using the base paint that I used for this, which is the olive green from the Tamiya color. I basically just mix it in with a little bit of white color just to lighten it, and then I used that to dry brush the area where I have the olive green color, and kind of lifted some of the edges, give it a little bit more definition, so you could kind of see like on this circular, have the lighter green in there, and then the regular olive green in between. And actually it came out pretty good. I kind of stick to the photo that I was using last time. I mean, it's not really, I'll put it right here. Again, it's not the same model, but I think I was able to get the exact, not exact, but like the similar look, just using the color scheme of that movie World War II motorcycle for Captain America. So at this point, I'm gonna just leave this to dry right now, and the next step for me is to add that star logo in the fuel tank. So I'll do that tomorrow. Put one here and then also one on the other side. So I'm going to add this decal here, kind of similar to that photo over there. And then I also decided to add this kind of like in the for the license plate at the back, right there. So basically, this one I just got from the internet, downloaded it and then sized it to the size that I need to fit on that license plate. And then for this one, I kind of just um, eyeball it. That's why I have like a couple of different size in here, just to see which one will fit much better in here. So yeah, anyway, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna glue it in there, and that should be done. So here's the completed bike, and I was able to add the additional features that I wanted to recreate from that original World War II Captain America bike to our bike, and that's what I'm going over so that you guys can have an idea as to how to build it. So first is this mini twin Vulcan machine gun right here that's mounted, and with the ammo box. And I also added a wire that runs up here to the bike handle, and I actually gave it a like a push button, the red the red kind of like button in there. I added that so that just kind of to make sense that it's a working submachine gun. And in terms of materials, I actually just kind of like mix and match in terms of like what I have around my workspace to use for these. And for this ammo box, I actually just used some of my scrap pink foam from my diorama stuff, and you can actually see it from here. So that's what it looks like. And this one normally comes in a bigger sheet. So just to give just to give you guys an idea, that's what I use for these. Again, you could use other materials to recreate that. So if you have something kind of like similar that you could use around your area or in your home, then please do so. But just to give you an idea, that's what it is. It's a pink foam, and that little kind of like lock device in there is actually a sheet of foam that this is what it looks like. And this way you could get Michaels. They come in like 11 by 17 sheet, and they're pretty good to use for little items, for little details, because they're easy to cut. All right. And then for the mount, I used some balsa wood. Here's a little piece, actually extra piece that I used for that. And then another piece of balsa wood that I used right there to mount those two submachine gun and the ammo canister right in the middle. And that ammo canister is also pink insulation foam. All right, and then for my barrel gun, the barrel for that Vulcan gun is basically this one, and this is a piece of do-it-yourself straw that I bought from Target a while back. I think the brand name is Spritz. It's in one of the areas where, like the party supply or something like that, of Target. And yeah, so what I did there is just I cut it to the size that I want, and I start drilling holes, along the side, just to simulate the that kind of like vent holes. And yeah, that's pretty much it for that. And for the wires, that's kind of like a rubbery, um, kind of like what they use for the beads, to yeah, that's kind of like a bead string or something that I use, and it's pretty cool to use there. And that little pink or the little red button in there is just basically a piece of the foam sheet that I showed you earlier, just painted red. And they are all just hot glued in place, so these are all permanent. Actually, in here I used some Elmer's or tacky glue as well, um, because it's much easier to use for this part right here. But other than that, it's pretty much all hot glue. So here's the odometer slash speedometer of this bike. So what I did in here is just basically just paint it, and I freehand those black kind of like lines along. So another thing that I also have to add in here or work on is the headlight. This metal bike doesn't come with a plastic or glass cover in here, so when you buy this, all it has is like you could see the inside of that, and there's basically nothing in there. So what I did there is, you know, cut a piece of this plastic from my scrap, and this is basically the clamshell for my action figures packaging. And as you can see, I have the pattern cut in there already, so I just did that, cut it, and then put it in there. Then I also just painted it on with some acrylic paint to just kind of simulate maybe like a lighted headlight. So something that's to add character to the bike. Here's another feature that I add in this bike, and this is the carrier bag. And there's actually two of these, one on each side. And for this, I used this piece of genuine leather that I bought from Michaels, and I also used this foam board that I got from the dollar store. And so what I did there is I cut a rectangular piece here, and then I wrapped it with this. So if you can imagine, inside that is a foam board, and just wrapped, and then I use this to like kind of like go over the top just to uh, create that bag type look. So it's fairly easy to do, something that's not that hard to mount as well. So this one is just after I pre-made this, just hot glue it in the back. And what's good about this bike is that it already has that kind of like metal frame in there that you could just readily glue that bag on. And lastly, I added this rifle holster in the front, as you can see. And this is a working rifle holster, and this one is the actual gun or rifle for the Hot Toys 1/6 scale Captain America. I actually have to remove the ammo because it's a tight fit with it. So I removed it so you can easily just put it in there. But that magazine, that ammo magazine, you can still just kind of like put it there if you want as well, like that. And the reason why I did it that way is because if the magazine is attached the way it is, then that means I have to create a bigger flare right here for this rifle holster, and I actually did it, and it doesn't really look good in terms of proportion. So I went back and make it smaller, and that's how I came up with that. And in terms of materials, I used a foam sheet, and I actually just painted with brown a couple of passes, and then weathered it with a lighter watered down brown, so you could kind of see those kind of like weathered look right there. And then this strap is also made of foam sheet cut to that size, and then it's been wrapped around to add support to this. And then I also added additional strap that's connected to the front right here. And this overall piece is actually hot glued in place, so it's permanent in there. And in terms of doing this, I basically just outlined that rifle in here. And if you can imagine, there's a big sheet. I just outline it and then kind of like drew over the side of that gun, and then fold it in half, and then copy the same pattern on the other side, and then that's what you're gonna come up with. And then in terms of connection, all I did there is I used staples, so you could kind of see, and I actually used the back of the staples to be facing the outer face of this holster, because it adds more of like the stitch look to it, rather than if you use the other side of the staple. You can have one big piece right there, and then it kind of gives it away that it's a stapler. So that's another way of trying to make a different look, literally, from what you use. So that one kind of looks like it's been stitched there, so looks good. So yeah, so this project is a wrap, and I hope you guys find this information good for your future project, or if you find something like this and you want to convert it. Hope this video will be good help. And if you like my videos, please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you want other videos that interest you in diorama or accessories for your diorama, then please check out my other videos. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next time.